silence, it is often in silence that the greatest messages are spoken. Not through the noise of the world, not through the chaos of men, but through the still voice that speaks to your soul when no one else is watching. Every moment of your life is a test. Every challenge, every delay, every pain you've ever faced, it was not random. It was a whisper, a divine reminder, a call for awakening. But now the whispers have stopped. The time for gentle reminders is over. Every hardship you have faced was not just a coincidence. It was a call. Every delay, every disappointment, every heartbreak carried a divine whisper, a message hidden behind the pain, urging you to pay attention. But most people don't listen. They cry out for change. Yet when change begins to unfold through difficulty, they call it bad luck. They ask for strength. Yet when life sends them trials to build it, they call it unfair. You see, the divine does not speak to you in the language of comfort. It speaks through the language of challenge. When you prayed for guidance, God didn't give you a voice from the clouds. He gave you moments that forced you to grow. But you ignored them because they came dressed in pain. You kept waiting for a miracle, for something dramatic, something clear and shining. But the greatest messages are never loud. They come in silence. They come in the form of rejection, loss, failure. Moments that strip you of control, so that you might finally learn to listen. You thought the pain was punishment, but it was preparation. You thought the delay meant denial, but it was direction. The divine was trying to realign you, to wake you from the illusions you built around comfort and control. Yet you continued to chase noise, distractions, and temporary pleasures, mistaking them for purpose. The truth is, the longer you ignore the whisper, the louder the lesson becomes. When you miss the signs, life raises its volume. The same cycle repeats, the same mistakes, the same broken relationships, the same disappointments, until you finally understand what you were meant to learn. The divine is patient, but not silent forever. There comes a time when your refusal to listen becomes your own destruction. The warnings were never meant to hurt you. They were meant to redirect you. But you wanted your own way. You wanted control. You wanted the crown without carrying the cross. When your plans fell apart, it wasn't life being cruel. It was mercy in disguise. Because had everything gone your way, you would have walked farther away from the truth. God will take away what you idolize to bring you back to what you need. He will close doors you were never meant to enter, even if you cry at their closure. He will remove people, opportunities, and comfort zones not to punish you, but to purify your path. Every hardship is a hidden message, asking one simple question: will you finally listen? The problem is not that God stopped speaking. It's that you stopped being still. You filled your life with noise, opinions, distractions, and pride. You stopped praying with the intention to listen, and started praying only to get what you want. You began to treat divine communication like a vending machine, not a sacred relationship. So when the answer didn't match your desire, you assumed you were unheard. But the divine was never silent. You were simply too busy to notice. Sometimes the message is simple: slow down. Sometimes it's clear: let go. Sometimes it's firm: you're on the wrong path. Yet the ego argues. The pride resists. The mind justifies. You say you want peace, yet you chase chaos. You say you want direction, yet you resist redirection. You ask for truth, but only the truth that doesn't challenge your comfort. So the divine must speak through circumstances that shake you, because you refuse to hear any other way. And still, even in your rebellion, even in your blindness, there is mercy, because every new morning is another whisper. Every breath you take is another reminder that it's not too late to return, not too late to awaken. You are not being punished by what happens to you. You are being called through it. Pain is not your enemy. It is the messenger sent to realign your spirit. And the moment you stop running from it, the message becomes clear. It says, I never left you. I've been speaking all along. You just stopped listening. Every hardship, every tear, every sleepless night, it was never random. It was coded communication between your soul and the divine. You were never abandoned. You were being trained. Trained to see beyond what your eyes can capture, to feel beyond what your emotions can interpret, to trust beyond what your logic can explain. The divine does not waste pain. It refines through it. It removes the unnecessary, burns away pride, and shapes your soul into something unbreakable. That's why you had to go through what you did. That's why you had to lose what you lost. Because without those moments, you would still be asleep, unaware that every challenge you faced was a sacred message wrapped in suffering, waiting for you to finally pay attention. You believe you have time. You wake up every day thinking you can always start tomorrow, that there will always be another chance, another season, another opportunity to fix what you've been avoiding. But this illusion of time is the most dangerous deception. It makes you delay what must be done now. It convinces you that growth can wait, that healing can wait, that obedience can wait. You scroll, you plan, you dream, you talk, but you never move. You live as though life owes you another day, when in truth, every breath you take is borrowed mercy. You see, time is not a guarantee. It's a gift, and it's slipping away silently while you make excuses. The enemy of your soul doesn't have to destroy you. He only needs to distract you. He doesn't have to take your faith. He just has to make you believe you have time. Because when you think you have time, you postpone the uncomfortable, you delay obedience, you silence conviction, and you stay exactly where you are. You keep saying, one day I'll change. One day I'll start. One day I'll commit. But one day is not a day on the calendar. It's a fantasy you created to escape the urgency of now. The truth is, time is not waiting for you. It never has. While you hesitate, the clock moves. While you doubt, the seasons shift. While you procrastinate, opportunities pass. You look back one day and realize years have gone by. Not because life moved too fast, but because you moved too slow. You kept postponing what your heart knew needed to be done. You let fear disguise itself as wisdom. You called your hesitation patience, when in reality it was avoidance. You allowed comfort to lull you into spiritual sleep, convincing yourself there would always be another chance to awaken. Every second that passes is a reminder that your life is not infinite. You are not promised another sunrise. The breath you are taking right now is a miracle you didn't earn. Yet you treat it like a guarantee. You treat your purpose like it's optional. You treat your divine calling like it can wait for a more convenient season. But there will never be a perfect time to begin. The only time you truly have is this moment, this breath, this heartbeat. You cannot control how long you live, but you can control what you do with the time you have been given. The illusion of time makes you believe that growth is something that happens later, after things settle, after you're ready, after life becomes easier. But what if it never does? What if the moment you keep waiting for never arrives? What if later is just another word for never? There are millions who thought they had more time. People who had dreams, plans, promises. Yet their time ended without warning. That is why the divine calls you to act now, to awaken now, to return now. Because delay is not just disobedience. It's denial. Denial of the truth that your life is fragile, temporary, fleeting like vapor. You can plan your future, but you cannot predict your end. You can set goals, but you cannot command time. Every tick of the clock is a silent sermon, whispering that eternity is closer than you think. Every heartbeat is a countdown that no one can reset. You spend your days chasing possessions, titles, and validation, believing they will make you fulfilled. But what good are these things if you lose the one thing you cannot buy back? Time. The divine has given you enough warnings. Through close calls, through wake-up moments, through the quiet unease in your spirit that tells you something needs to change. But instead of listening, you numb yourself with distractions. You drown the voice of conviction with entertainment, work, noise, and endless scrolling. You say, I'll get serious when I'm older, as if you know you'll reach that age. You say, I'll seek God when I have more time, not realizing that your time is being spent faster than you can save it. The truth is, Time is not something you manage. It's something you spend, and every day you are spending it on something. You are either investing it into your growth or wasting it on your comfort. You are either becoming who you were meant to be or drifting further from it. Life is not meant